Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Golden Sun. When last we left off, we're here in the Mercury Lighthouse with Mia. Mia believes that Alex has managed to find his way in and is trying to get to the top, or at least that's what we can presume, because Alex is working with Saturos and Menardi. We need to use this ability that we have to hop over the water using psynergy to navigate to two locations in this small area. The first one really isn't that useful though, as it's over here. Also, we now no longer have the ability to jump, but every single location that we can jump to has the ability to give us more of those jumps. Like here. We got one sleep bomb, which is really worthless. And we don't want to go over to the left right now because we really can't do anything over there. We want to head all the way around here and head up and over in this direction so that we can navigate all the way around the edges of this area of water. Also, this is what happens if you fall into the water. Isaac drowns a little and then he appears exactly where he was. It would be more interesting to have him appear, say, at the beginning of this little area, having lost some health as he tried to swim back to any bit of land. But hey, the game did what it did so that we didn't have to do anything like constantly repeat the same puzzle all over again. And here is a selection of two oozes and a flying squid. I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine in dealing with these, but hey, we might as well be sure and use a lot of psynergy. Perhaps not Ivan's right now, because Ivan doesn't really have that much of it. There we go, that should... Ooh, that's not bad at all. That should probably be enough psynergy and attacks to deal with all this. Or maybe it won't be. And Isaac is poisoned, and that's why we have the antidotes on hand, because the antidotes are really going to help out in that regard. I wonder if the damage doesn't seem to be, as I recall, every single round. It's sort of intermittent. Also, we want to get rid of these enemies as quickly as possible, so an attack here, and we could actually use Cure Poison here, which is a really good synergy that Mia has. But sometimes Mia won't be available, so an antidote will do the trick. There is the 11 damage from poison. It's actually quite a nasty amount of damage. Ooh, Ivan is in trouble. Ivan is in serious trouble, and I'm very glad that Ooze decided not to attack Ivan there. We should be able to finish. Yep, that one is now gone. We really need to use some healing right now. There we go. We have two choices here, but Mia's magic will work just as well. We might as well see if anyone else needs some. I think Isaac does. There we go. Now we can head down in this direction and just directly south to another area that we haven't been. And if we want to go back, there is one of these platforms right here just to hop back over in this direction. But for the moment we want to head over here into a new area. An area that has a lot of these. Some of these can be walked through. And here is a puzzle that we can't yet solve. But we will be able to eventually if we manage to connect all of the water together. There we go. That's one piece of it. I wonder if there's anything back here that's worth exploring. There is something that's worth exploring, but we've solved this a little bit wrong because we need to move another thing before we move the first one. We can actually walk all the way around here and push this one first. There we go, and now the water will come out here, but that's really not good enough. We want the water to move all the way over, down, and through. There we go. Isaac is really strong to be able to push them even some distance, and that is a lot of water that's filling up. And now that's ready to go. Excellent. We should see if there's any route we can go down here, though. Maybe there isn't. No, there isn't. We can only actually go this way. There we are. That is the game, by the way, teaching you in a rather blunt way how that works, just for a little bit later. And here we go, down a rather pointless corridor. Why is this corridor here? Who can say? But we need a statue from up where we haven't been yet to get access to over here. And that door, I think, is rather important. And there is a statue. But unfortunately, we can't really do anything with that statue right now because that jet of water really isn't helping us. But I imagine if we move the one that's over to the right and activate that, that will push the statue in a direction we want it to go. There are, however, quite a few things in our way. We're definitely going to have to take some time in solving this one. Alright, what do we want to do here? What we want to do is we want to push that we want to push this pipe that's over here. We can separate this one out all the way over here. There we go. And now that should change things up a little. Yep, now it's that one. We actually now want to push it back because the statue has now been moved to a position where we really want the original jet of water to take effect. There we go. He is really strong, isn't he? And now it's been moved over there, but now we want to get it over here. And you may be wondering how we manage that. Well, that's what the other pipe that we have is for. That one is going to be used to prevent this pipe we're pushing from moving too far. There we go, that really doesn't make any impact whatsoever, but this will. When we go all the way round and push that pipe again. Well, push it, more like shove it, because it's not going to be going very far. There we go. Puzzle solved, and that is a puzzle. Goodbye, statue. It's a really good thing that statue is made of something really durable, otherwise that might not have gone so well. Just imagine it falling and then shattering into 100 pieces. And then Isaac and company tried to stick the statue back together with glue. And it took a long time. Meanwhile, Saturos and Menardi managed to light all the lighthouses. Alright, we're now here, and we've seen this puzzle before. Moving statues left and right to try and find something. Ah, there's something there. There's also something not here too, but there is this area that we could jump over. And we could actually just go down here, but for now, going in here is a good idea. There is a chest here that we can get. There we go, we got one nut. That is going to be more useful than you think pretty soon. Let's go down here, shall we? And around here. Again, I'm not sure why there's a ladder there. There might as well have not been. Also, why am I going to the menu? I have the ability to use this at the press of a button. And here is a very small puzzle. And I mean a very small puzzle. By the way, that jet of water was so powerful it managed to move a wall. That is a powerful jet of water. And here, I think, is a secret area. And also here is an encounter, a harpy and a lizard man. Also, most of our psynergy has returned, so we can quite freely use any of the magic that we have. There we go, a ray there, and I think a tundra there. Why not? Let's use tundra, shall we? Lightning inside a building. I don't remember what that does, but it's pretty powerful. There we go, 43 and 41 damage, and a flare. There we go. Bye-bye, lizard man. See you never. Alright, a few more. Ooh, no hit there. One hit there, though. Excellent. 80 more experience points. One of these, if memory serves, you can go through. There we go. In here is a djinn. Now, this djinn is not going to just join us. This djinn is going to fight. And that is really not good, because this djinn is actually quite tough. Alright, we're going to have to use a spire here. We're going to have to use a volcano, because this djinn is rather weak to Mars synergy. And we might as well, might as well use a healing spell right now, because I think Isaac needs it. There we go. That is 48 damage, and the djinn tries to run immediately. There is a small chance that they'll run away, and we could have just left the room and then just headed back in, and the djinn would have been back. Also, 65 damage there. You get more experience when you fight a djinn if you defeat it with an element that it's weak to. This is something that I actually didn't know until very recently. I think another ray here, or plasma rather, won't go amiss, and maybe a ice shard here. That may not go amiss either. It'll probably do more attack damage than your attack, Mia. 24 damage is not that impressive. And 42 damage there is also not that impressive. This is barely gonna, 23, barely gonna do anything. But there we go, excellent. A fair amount of experience and level 9 for Garrett, that's really good. And now this djinn will join our party. And I think this djinn's actually pretty good. And because it's a water djinn, it will rain on us. And there we go, we now have sleet. We really don't want sleet, we want sleet to be given over to Mia here. There we go, and we will set it, which will give her a lot more stats all round. Excellent. It's a shame we don't have a second Venus or Jupiter djinn, but we'll get them soon enough. And that is pretty much what we came here for, but we're going to keep moving. Another corridor. This place actually isn't as big as you'd think it is. For being one of the major plot dungeons of the game, there's really actually not that much you do in the Mercury Lighthouse. The second lighthouse of the game, however, is a much larger dungeon, and a far more dangerous one too. I think a tundra there won't go amiss. Psynergy everywhere! I mean, we have weapons, but why use them when we can literally move the earth? Also, only 10 damage there. Really not good. Really not good at all. That, however, was quite a lot of damage. And that lizard man is still alive, but only for now. Goodbye, lizard man. Not yet. Now you're gone. Brilliant. And also a nut. That is quite a good thing to get. Also, I think some more healing won't go amiss. There we go. 158 health. That is a lot of health that Garrett has. A lot of health indeed. And up here is another corridor. And there is another encounter. Some more flying squid, and we get to attack first. Oh, this is going to end badly for you. This is going to end very badly for you. I think we're just going to use a lot of these, the djinn here, and then unleash a lot of summons, because hey, why not? What does this one do? Calming water and drench a foe to drop his attack. Why not? Let's use tons and tons of summons. 18 damage, not bad. 60 damage, much better. 54 damage, that one is just gone. And there we go. That's probably really been effective. We'll have to remember that the one that Mia has does a lot of damage. There we go. That went pretty well. I really don't use the djinn enough, but there is one that does a heal for everyone, and that is the one that we just got, that we need to remember does that. There we go. This one's still alive, but not anymore. Haha! We have a lot of gold. Dungeons tend to do that in this game. You just get absolutely loads of gold, and then you use that gold to get things in the next place you go to. Or in this case, the place we've already been, because there weren't any things available to buy, weapons or armor-wise, in Imil. But there will be eventually. Also, somebody really needs to get somebody into this lighthouse to fix up all the massive holes in it. And here is a trio of flying squid. This happens far more often than you'd think. Alright, we want to use that there, I think. An attack here, and I think an attack here, and then we'll use some psynergy, I think. Let's see, a tundra there won't go amiss. Excellent, 11 damage. Absolutely loads of damage. I think the one on the right is pretty dead. Yep, that one's gone. And a few attacks here. You've got to be careful when you use the djinn, because the stats of the character go down. We can rather set that back. Sorry about that, but we can just set that back. Let's just deal with this, shall we? There we go. Just had to gut something out there momentarily. Alright. Now we have one more round to deal with this enemy. I think this enemy is pretty much gone. There we go. No more enemy. Also, lots of gold. You know when I said we had lots of gold? 2,000 gold. Wasn't kidding. Gold is everywhere right now. There we go. Some psynergy there, and psynergy there. I think we might be approaching, we're getting pretty close to an area where... Ooh, anything in here? Anything in here? Anything in here? What about here? What? Aha! There. And here is an area that we're most certainly going to need to go through. Why is everywhere blocked off with statues? I mean, somebody will be able to move them. You don't need psynergy to do it. And here is yet another corridor, and a weakness of the Mercury Lighthouse. There are a lot of corridors that really don't serve much purpose whatsoever. Also, using the flare wall here is a good idea. And why not use that as well? And why not just use this also? Just use all of the psynergy that we have! Haha! That was a really effective psynergy. Also, here is Froth that will deal a little bit of damage. Also, quite a lot to Ivan there. There we go, 8, 12, and 10. Let's just ignore that Isaac has psynergy right now, because it's really not working out. There we go, 46, 57, and one of them is still alive. Well, was still alive. And Isaac is now level 10 and gets Cure Well, which is like the cure spell, only better. Ivan is now level 11 and gets absolutely nothing. But we did get an elixir, which isn't that bad. Alright, time to use even more psynergy. You may think I'm being very liberal with my psynergy, even though Mia regenerates it during combat. That's because the game here is rather generous in the positioning of a particular item pretty soon. Ah! He who honors the goddess of rainbows shall be guided to the heavens upon wings of fluid grace. I think it's time to use Ply here. I think anyway. Let's try it. Will it work? Have Ply! Well, it might work. Did it work? I think it did. And now we can actually go, would you believe it, up the waterfall. Would you believe this is not the first game where a waterfall going up is something you've seen? And so, Mia, without fear, goes up a waterfall. And we're about to follow. We're not happy about following at all. But we're going to follow. Oh, he did not do that very well whatsoever. Yeah, I wouldn't be very happy about that either. The other two, however, are far better at it. Oh, Isaac, you really should have just been more careful, shouldn't you? Far more careful. Uh-oh. I think we might be a little too late. Maybe. Also, there is a Psynergy Stone. And that's where we are. We're all okay, though. Everyone is fine. We've now been given a Psynergy Stone that restores all of our Psynergy to maximum. We might as well use it. It instantly restores it and then instantly disappears. There's a reason why, however, we get that, because there's going to be quite a nasty boss coming up. A very nasty boss indeed. And a very, very long cutscene too. And it's very long. Exceptionally long, in fact. So long that I'm a little wary as to going over to this pulsating orb of blue Psynergy to trigger it. I think if you go up those stairs, that's when it happens. There are a lot of areas in Golden Sun where there are very narrow corridors which force you to trigger certain encounters or certain dialogues. Like here, for instance. They could put a trigger here for, like, setting off a dialogue or an encounter, and you'd have to go into it unless you glitch the game out and manage to get past. Also, this music, really nice. You don't actually hear it often enough, and that is quite a shame. I do think you hear it in the other lighthouse that you go to, though. We need to make sure, however, that we have everything equipped that we really want to, because we aren't going to get an opportunity pretty soon. We do have a full inventory here, and a lot of very nice things in it. But the main thing we want to do right now is actually switch out this Water of Life. We need to give one of them over to someone else, like, for instance, Garrett. The reason being is that if something goes horribly, horribly wrong, we want to be able to, we definitely want to be able to have somebody else bring people back to life. Also, this Psy Crystal here, we probably want to give that over to somebody else too. Also, we didn't use that wing to get anybody, well, to get out of this dungeon, because we didn't need to. It's really not a very big one. Also, we don't have a nice mixture of these the herbs here. We want to most certainly give a few over to, say, Ivan, and maybe, well, actually, we don't really need to give one over to Mia. Mia here is going to be really effective, but it's safe to say that we're as ready as we'll ever be for the next point. And the next point is a dangerous point, which is why I'm waiting until next time to do it. Yes, indeed. I think going into a very long cutscene here might be a big mistake. Mainly because if you lose, actually, saving might be a really good idea. Why don't I do that? Why don't I do that? Sensible plan. But that will be next time, folks. For when we come back, we'll go over to this shimmering orb of shimmeringness and see just what's going on with it. I think it's safe to say, though, we're just a little too late. Just a little. Maybe. I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.